Real, like raw dog in it.
So that's why I hated
werewolf,
that. Hated that. Hated you said that out loud.
We're going to bleep that one. We're getting spooky.
Well, with Halloween coming up, we're trying something new.
Halloween is not coming up.
It is.
Isn't it?
It's coming up. It's not wrong. It's just quite a few months away.
Is this like literally what we were just saying? Like, did I paint the world's best miniature? Is Halloween coming up? Yes.
Winter's coming, everybody.
So we're going to try something new on Juggz today. We're going to try...
Also, hi, welcome to Juggz.
Hello, welcome to Juggz.
Hello, welcome to Juggz. I missed you.
Whoa. Yeah, we're trying something new. Louise, do you want to try and explain what we're trying to do?
So, we're trying to have fun in this family.
Yeah, that's it.
And because
we never normally have fun.
Rob, I think if we can do a throwback to when Tina came on, if we can do a little flashback to when Tina came on, we we all remember Rob finding out that me and Peachy are little freaks, and Tina too. Freaks. She's also, in fact, Tina should have been here for this one. Pour one out for Tina right now. She would have loved this episode.
She would have loved this episode.
But like Rob found out that Peachy, especially Peachy, believes in quite a lot of things like conspiracy theories and mythical creatures. I'm like including
chess
ghosts,
goblins.
like chess. Well, that's because you literally experience that. I haven't told you I had my first experience with sleep paralysis, but we'll get back around to that. But so Rob decided it would be fun to essentially test not just me and Peachy, but also Rob himself. And Rob's going to bring up some mythological...
Well, yeah.
What's the plan, Rob?
This is the first episode of Juggz where we've had guests on, we've had subjects.
Yeah.
But it's the first episode where what I'm going to try and do is just start going on a journey of exploration with my partner and my friend, and then with the audience, and we're all just having a great time.
I thought you were going to say my partner, my friend, and the guy that sat in the corner. And you're like, what? You guys don't believe in? Whoa! That would have been a great start.
That would have been bit. I'm sorry.
That would have been a great bit.
Up. So we're going to try to do some new fun stuff, do some different subjects we don't normally do. We're going to do some tours
but also,
and stuff.
This is a subject that I'm literally rolling up my sleeve.
Just get ready.
Okay.
You floated this idea of floating ghost reference.
Nice.
I'm already deep.
So we're going to work out which mythological creatures exist. We maybe talk about them in miniatures.
I love that we're going to work out which mythological
Yeah, we're working them out here. This is where it gets sorted out.
Questions are answered here.
Okay. All right. So, and let us know in the comments below what you believe.
So we're going to crack right in.
Straight in.
And please in the comments section.
The premise is really simple. We're not going to cover every mythological creature. We're going to just try something out for an hour and see if it's fun. And if we like it, we'll do some more in the future. And if you like it, let us know in the comments. And if no one likes it,
and if you're a ghost or are a mythological creature, if you're Bigfoot, get your feet out and type us a message.
Yeah.
With your feet.
And the Sasquatch.
Bigfoot's one, I believe. Bigfoot's one, I believe.
Oh, fuck, get into it.
I believe in Bigfoot. I think
Is that our first one?
Let's do Bigfoot. Let's go.
Bullshit.
Bigfoot, the Sasquatch, the cryptid.
I need to calm down.
Why are you so excited about this?
Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Can I put my first thing first? My foot first. Thank you.
Big foot.
My big foot.
Bigfoot.
Rob did say I have big feet the other day. That's
wow.
rude. That's rude. They're long and skinny like an alien. But anyway, Bigfoot isn't real. Let me tell you why.
It is real.
Shut up.
Okay.
Let me. I get to say order. Let me get my Minecraft potion.
Okay.
Because there is no evidence. So, like, before camera phones were a thing, right?
Yeah.
Loads of evidence of Bigfoot.
Okay.
It was always super blurry,
right?
But, camera phones weren't a thing. People couldn't just whip out a phone and film anything in 4K.
Yeah.
Ever since, like, the popularity, especially in the last, 7 years of 4K camera phones being a whip away.
Yeah.
There's been no HD evidence as Bigfoot.
Okay.
And there should have been.
I've got
based
a counteraction to that.
Okay, I'd like to hear it.
So counteraction is nowadays people are too busy looking at their phones and not looking around them. So they're not actually spotting Bigfoot because they're too busy looking at what Twitter's got to tell them.
Okay.
Of course he still exists.
Okay, so
if you weren't so busy with Twitter, maybe you'd have 4K videos of Bigfoot by now.
Also, get off Twitter, you giant racist.
Just look up. That's all you need to do.
That's a great
Okay,
movie.
so I
Have
have-
you seen that movie?
Yes. Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god, great movie.
What
So
movie?
good.
Just look
No,
up.
just-
Oh yeah, great movie.
Gave me a panic attack at the end. Let's
Yeah,
not talk
yeah.
about
Very
it.
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have evidence of Bigfoot existing.
Yeah.
That's why. But also, like, there's a bunch of stuff I'd like to talk about. But yeah, my evidence was I was once at the gym.
Yeah.
With
Oh
my
wait, shut up!
Hang
Did
on,
you
he-
see Bigfoot at the gym?
no, hold on, I'm
It's
not
not
finished.
Bigfoot.
Let me
It's
give
not
you.
Bigfoot.
Oh my god,
Let me
Rob's
give you my
Bigfoot. It's just
evidence.
naked
He saw
Bigfoot.
Let me
himself
give
in
you
the
my
mirror, it's like,
evidence.
Here,
So
wait,
I was at the gym.
order.
I was at the gym,
Order.
and then one of the other guys came in, and he stank. Right, and then the other guy in the gym was like, "Mate, you smell like Bigfoot's dick."
Yeah.
All right, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Wow, that guy must have seen
Smell-
Bigfoot
and smell
and
it.
smelled his
Oh my
dick."
god, he must have smelled Bigfoot.
So I was like, "Well, that's evidence for me."
Yeah.
That'll,
And I've heard that as well on Anchorman.
yeah.
So that's a documentary.
Other
If
That's
you've
evidence.
a
seen it.
documentary
That's a
series.
documentary
That's a
series.
documentary
Other
series.
evidence.
Yeah.
No, okay. So with the cryptids and with Bigfoot, there's a really good documentary about a guy who says he lives with the Bigfoots. And there's like
Wait, the big feet.
yeah, the big feet. And there's like an hour and a
big
half,
feet.
of him going around being like, "Oh, they were just here. You just missed them."
Oh my god, that's me with all my friends.
Oh, that's a tragedy. That's a tragedy. I like the concept of Bigfoot.
I like the concept of
obviously,
Bigfoot.
Obviously, it's not real.
No,
but
what do you mean? Obviously, no. I just think like I'm all about that kind of thing being real. It's just that I feel like there would have been evidence of Bigfoot by now.
I think American cryptids are really interesting because,
American cryptids are
especially
really
for
interesting.
England, because
Yeah.
when I went to America and I came back to England, because I've always heard the phrase England is like a garden or
It's
England
the
is a
garden
garden.
state or whatever they
No.
call it, the garden country. It's something like
Yeah,
that.
they say England is a garden, and I
Yeah.
didn't really understand that. And then I came back and I was like, I get it, because in America, like we drove out of New York. Louise was also there as well. We drove out of New York,
Oh,
and as
that's
soon as you
awesome.
drive out of New York, you're like, oh, busy, bustling New York, the metropolitan, capital of the world, or whatever.
Yeah.
You drive out and they're just like, and I'm like, what's there? They're like, just forest.
Yeah.
I'm like, who lives there? They're like, I don't know. Like, no one's ever
Bigfoot?
been in there.
Big feet.
Like, and you're like, oh, and that's just outside of like this huge population
It's not
center.
curated.
It's not
Vast
curated.
amounts of. I love the Appalachians.
Yeah, exactly.
about the
Loads of cryptids in the Appalachians. Yeah. So like, I love that there's that mythology of the wilderness, because you would think, with satellites and I was watching something about
There's not a lot of unexplored world left,
exactly,
or
but
at least undocumented world.
exactly, but like these forests and these things, they're just like no one can be bothered to go in there.
Oh yeah, you've seen the
Right.
top of the forest.
Can-
You haven't seen what's in the
Can
forest.
I
Big
can
feet.
I give you my reason why I think he does exist?
Okay,
What,
why
big
Bigfoot?
feet?
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
Bigfoot.
Wait.
also, I
Do you
think-
believe? Okay, so first of all,
Is it one Bigfoot
is
or
it
a
one
family?
Bigfoot or is it the big feet kind of
So,
genus?
I think it is.
Biggest
It
footers.
depends on how long the
Genus.
mythology has been around.
A
Okay.
while.
So I don't know when the word, when Bigfoot was first mentioned. Was
Well,
it
they
the
used to call him
1800s? Was it the 1700s?
Grande Ped.
Or was it
What do they
only-
call them?
They didn't call him Grande. No.
Grande pet.
No,
you say?
I don't know what Spanish is for food. Like, let me Google it. Carry
Okay,
on.
Okay.
But I have a theory, right?
Hmm.
Bigfoot exists, but it's not what you think it is.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What is this?
And it depends on the timeline. It could have been a family,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of rich people that buy exotic animals.
Right.
The Romans did it.
Okay.
Lots of big rich people. America's full of lots of big rich people, right?
You're right. Okay.
What are the chances that at some point some rich family in the south or in the north
What, a gorilla?
bought a gorilla and it got released out into the wild?
Okay.
Maybe there was a couple of gorillas.
Very different stance.
Well, they don't explain the stance in
did.
the books and the information.
Yeah,
It's only
that's
the
pretty
photo when someone
interesting.
tried to reenact the photo.
Well,
I've seen Tiger King.
What's probably more likely than that,
Hmm.
Peachy, is the amount of undocumented, what used to be called in like those areas, mountain people. A lot of
yeah.
these areas have basically like, I'm talking like the Appalachians and like areas like what we saw,
Yeah.
where so what would happen if there would essentially be the mountain folk who are like, they've lived there their whole lives. They're very like, basically they live off the land.
Yeah.
And then the town people come in and there's suddenly a divide between the townsfolk and the mountain folk. And then they start having stories about the mountain folk.
Yeah.
And then, because the mountain folk like basically never go into town, and town is civilized. Mountain folk like
And you
don't
can
know
smell
how
their
to
dick
read.
when they come close
And you
as
can
well.
smell their
You're like, "Ugh, it's Bigfoot's dick again.
big dicks.
There's actually a really good YouTube channel. There's a really good YouTube channel.
Sorry, we just created a new cryptid. His name's Big Dick. He's got stinky feet.
Just a penis and little.
Tiny feet.
I hate that.
Huge dick.
I was just going to say there was a really fun YouTube. Well, fun is not what it is, but there's a really good YouTube channel called Soft White Underbelly, which just does interviews with people in the Appalachians. And obviously, there's like massive poverty there.
Well,
And
this
it's
is
like,
what I mean. The mountain folk were a thing that the townspeople used to talk about, and like I said, they'd have stories about them. So I think Bigfoot could have just been someone from there.
Yeah.
You know, hairy guy, lumberjack, big guy, probably three generations inbred, because that was a big problem with the mountain folk, or at least that's what they said.
Is there a miniatures game? Is there a miniatures game there?
For cryptids?
The goal is we're a collaborative party.
Oh,
you roll
absolutely.
different classes, and you're trying to find Bigfoot.
Absolutely,
I like that.
And then one
What
of
do
you
you think?
is the
Search for
Bigfoot, and you
Bigfoot.
have to smell someone's cards, and it's like that one smells like Bigfoot's dick. And aha! You would only know that if you were Bigfoot. Got you.
There's one that's just really
This
pungent.
is
What
you
card?
want pungent card. But if anyone mutters, that smells like Bigfoot's dick, they're Bigfoot.
Okay.
Because only Bigfoot would know that.
That's a good one. You
That's
think
a good game.
It's true.
So-
Are you saying
so-
Bigfoot just sits and smells his own dick?
I don't think he has
Is
a
that how he
choice. I
knows?
don't think he has a choice.
Oh,
he's not got a job? What else
he's
is
got
he
a
going
nice
to
bit
do?
of balance today.
Anyway, so what are the scores and doors for Bigfoot? I think not real.
I think real, but it's probably an escaped animal. A bit like when you get the Dartford or Dartmoor cat.
Oh, I told
Stuff
Rob
like
about the Dartmoor cats.
Yeah.
I told you it was like a really common
I'm
English
going
one.
for real because I think it adds some fun mystery to the world.
Okay,
Yeah.
can I do the next
Yeah, I
one?
like
Because it's
that.
one of my favorite ones.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure.
Dragons.
Definitely.
Dragons.
Of course they exist.
What? So are we talking about? We don't mean
So,
currently exist.
I'm going to set the scene for you because
Okay.
there's a lot of documentaries.
I'm going to sit back because it's
I've
blown my
watched.
mind.
I'm already.
Okay.
This is how I should be podcasting. Look how relaxed I am.
You are. This
This is the
we-
most I've ever relaxed with a
This is
podcast.
great.
You know, I specifically came up with this topic for you two, and you're actually
I can
enjoying
tell.
it. So I'm really happy
actually
about
taken over the podcast
Yeah.
now. This
Carry
is now
on.
my
Finally.
This is great.
So, dragons
Yeah.
is a really interesting one because of the collective mythology of dragons.
Exactly.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah.
What?
So, thank you for pretending you didn't know about the documentary I mansplained to you for 5 hours last week. Thank you, Rob. I really appreciate you're a good boy.
Well done. You'll get a new shirt.
So you'll get a new shirt for that.
Don't want it.
Don't want it. So the thing about dragons is, like, obviously if there were dragons flying around nowadays, we probably know about them.
Yeah.
There aren't. However, basically every single culture in the world has a dragon myth, which
Right.
is essentially, and they're all quite similar, which is something like a beast with wings. It can be scaly, it can be like dinosaur, it could be like in England, the dragon started out as basically like a giant dog with the face of I think it was like a lizard with the face of a dog with wings, like a
Right,
bit of a
okay.
chimera. But at the end of the day, every single mythology has a dragon myth, be it whatever. It's a big flying, usually lizard-like creature, sometimes like just four-legged animal, but everyone's got one. How does that happen? There it is. There it is.
In Bigfoot culture, they also believe in dragons as well.
They do.
What
There
do
was
you mean
like
Bigfoot culture? Like the big feet believe in dragons?
Yeah, they're like, drag on this smelly dick.
burning of the dragon. It's like, you know, when you've had a really, really, really horrible stinky shit, and you light a match to get rid of the smell.
I choose not to believe in what Rob just said.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So shoot.
I don't know. I think it's quite interesting, right? Because like
It's
we
a really
haven't
good
touched
one.
on Atlantis yet, but like Atlantis,
Oh
it's
fuck! Or Lemuria? Do you even want to get into Lemuria?
no, but maybe who knows?
mean, do you know what
Let's
this
just
is?
see
This
where
is-
stuff goes.
Explain so much shit to you today.
But obviously, Atlantis ends up being like this like unified string theory kind of concept between all the different like howdy cultures, but also we can't talk about Atlantis because Atlantis is actually fundamentally very racist.
Oh, Lemuria. I don't know if Lemuria is. I think Lemuria is still kind of like fine.
No,
Lemuria is
Atlantis
just
is
called that
very
because they
racist.
thought lemurs walked across a landmass, and it's kind of cute.
Okay, all right,
But,
that's cute.
Anyway, continue with dragons.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I do think it is fascinating that, like, if they're, I think it's a situation where like those ancient cultures connected in a way that maybe we don't know about yet. Also, like
That's an interesting take. So you think they were all chatting? I think the opposite.
I think so. Like Aboriginal culture is super interesting because like they had storytelling devices and they would pass it down like generationally, but like we forget how well that was done and how much
integral
and how integral it was to the culture. Like I think I think Aboriginal culture, Australian Aboriginal culture is like something like 100,000 years old.
It's crazy fucking old.
It's crazy old.
Yeah.
And like, they were able to tell stories for close to that amount of time.
Do they have a dragon mythology?
I actually don't know that. That's a great
Is
question.
there Australian dragons?
I don't know.
I don't think there is,
know
and
that
the reason
either.
why I don't think the Incans do, and I don't think the Egyptians do.
The Incans must. They've got like little winged lizard
I've
things
watched
everywhere.
a fair few
Yeah.
documentaries about Incans and Aztecs, and I don't remember seeing any dragon imagery or mythology.
Oh, let me
And
go.
now I've got a reason why I think this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
go for it.
yeah.
So you could argue that dragons are like remnants of some reptilian beast that may have like gone extinct. No one's found any bones for it, right?
Yeah.
So that throws the argument out. But some people think it's some form of dinosaur that's not quite died off yet.
Literally,
Some kind of large
or
like a Komodo
people
dragon.
just found dinosaurs.
Or they just found
They
dinosaurs.
just found dinosaur bones and they were like,
Do you know what I think it is?
what,
Yeah, I think the
what?
wings bit is interesting because now, because when I
think it's
grew up, was going,
UFOs.
Oh, for fuck's
Peachy,
sake.
we're not going to UFOs,
It's
Peachy.
fucking UFOs.
Peachy, we're not doing it.
It's jet fighters
Oh
shooting
my
fire
God.
at the front of the jet fighters.
I was so ready for it to be sort of weird.
And they got wings, and you can't describe what it is, but it's only a certain period of time onwards. So, like, medieval Dark Age upwards.
What?
So-
What?
I think
They just had
UFOs?
jet fighters. in the
Maybe
medieval
that's when the aliens started to like explore planet Earth was from them onwards.
I got to tell
I
you,
don't think the pyramids are
Can I-
landing.
can I give you a push?
We'll
Can
do
I
the
get-
pyramids in a bit. We'll do the pyramids
Can I
in a
give you a
bit.
pushback on aliens for a moment?
Shoot.
'Cause
I think
it's-
we all should.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
the comment section will be pushing. Also, Incan dragon.
Oh, there is an Incan dragon.
Incan dragon.
It looks like a jet fighter.
Fuck
carry on.
No, it doesn't.
Looks
UFO,
like a good
UFO
ship.
Louise. I think the UFO thing
I mean,
is.
a dragon is a UFO if you can't identify it.
Yeah, that's true,
You
Louise.
are-
Yeah, well
I did-
done. Well
I
done.
mean, I said unidentified flying object. So I
Exactly.
never said it. Oh, I did say it.
You did.
Shit.
You did actually.
because you just said
went
aliens.
straight to aliens.
You went
Pete.
straight to aliens.
Don't you dare try and
I can't
fucking
believe we're
retcon
in
what you
aliens
said
already.
with logic.
We've done Bigfoot's dick and now we're at aliens immediately.
I love how we were like dragons. Yeah, no, maybe people
I'm
found
not that
dinosaur
guy.
bones. Like that's aliens.
Aliens.
Like not even like aliens might exist. Aliens are
I
the
need the hair.
explanation.
I need the hair. I need the wild
Alien.
hair.
I think aliens is such a fascinating concept because it really centers human hubris right at the center. Because humans are
Oh
always
my
like,
God, literally.
yeah, aliens would come and see us, and I'm like, us,
We're
We-
shit.
we're shit.
Have you seen us?
Do
We
you-
look like crap.
do you like turn up stones and look at worms and ants?
Yeah, why?
Why would aliens not do anything different to us?
Oh yeah, worms are kind of ugly. Sorry, worms.
No, what they're
Say
all-
sorry to
most
worms.
most bugs are pretty fascinating. Like
Yeah.
living
And they might
colonies.
think that about us.
I used
Oh,
to.
what?
I mean, they're like, look at these little people having wars and blowing shit up. Oh,
Oh
dumb.
no,
It's true.
So
It's
maybe
true, they probably
I guess that's a
do.
good point. But I think also maybe not. Maybe also we human beings look at ants and do stuff. Yeah, maybe people who are evolved enough to do whatever they're doing.
I
are
mean,
just,
I've picked up the odd ant and gone, oh, you cute, and then put it back. And he's probably gone, I got taken away by a big white light.
Yeah.
Have you seen the people that fuck with ants? So what they'll do is
hell's
they'll
wrong
like
with
put
murderers?
like 3 sugar cubes in front of like the scout ant, right?
Oh,
so
no.
the scout ant
They
like,
don't do the circle of death, do
no,
they?
it's even better. So like they'll have like this massive, like more food than this ant's ever seen in its life. Like its colony will eat for years.
Okay.
So this ant loses its shit, and the scout ant goes back to the hive or whatever it is, the colony, to be like, guys,
mother
there's the fucking mother load. Like, you will not fucking believe this shit. We are going to eat like kings for years.
Mm.
And they're like, are you fucking kidding me? And this ant's like, we gotta go get this shit. And then the people take away the food. So like this fucking huge group of ants led by this little scout comes out, and you could just see him be like, where is it? Where is it?
It's so
it was
cruel.
right here.
Where is it, Troy?
Yeah.
It was right here, Troy.
There's like-
Where is it?
There's like 300 ants just being like, fuck you, man. And the ant just doesn't understand. It's like, it was right here. So mean.
I don't think that's okay. I think that's
I
cruel.
think humans are cryptid in a way.
Humans are encrypted to all the other animals. Yeah, that's so true.
In a way.
Yeah.
I had an interesting theory for aliens. I was just trying to Google it. I can't remember what it's called. I'm sure people in the chat will be able to tell me. But it's like the alien theory, which is like the fact that like if we were discovered, we would be dead. or something. Therefore,
Okay.
there aren't aliens. I can't remember what it is. I need to Google this.
Okay.
Is it
Right.
like we're long extinct? By the
Yeah,
time we
yeah,
discover
yeah.
this?
It's the wait.
I reckon they've
alien-
got other stuff to do. I reckon like,
Maybe
but-
they haven't. Maybe there's something just like we're just 4 years. Just like to look.
See, I think that generally trends towards the basis. I don't know. It's fascinating. I like
Oh, here
one of
we
my
go.
favorite books is like The Dance at the End of the End of Time,
Yeah.
which is a quite interesting take on like what happens like. When you've got everything. Ian M. Banks' Culture series is a great series of books, which is also like when you've got everything, what do you even have to do that's interesting? Also, I found out this week, a little side note, I don't know if you know this, but Ian M. Banks is one of my favorite authors, and the Culture series is this kind of like far-flung human race where AI are kind of in charge, but like life is good. Like there's no war or death or famine or anything.
Yeah.
There are actually technically some wars, but we'll kind of ignore that. And if you want to live forever, you can live forever. You want to, change gender, change gender. You want to change gender, have a kid, change back.
Yeah.
They change genders like every other week. Just
Yeah,
for
like they've
funsies.
got a
They'll be
gland
like,
in.
I see you later now. And they're like, yeah, do you like it? And they're like, you look great.
Yeah, like,
it's
there's
pretty
like-
cute.
I'll
There's
give
like-
myself 3 boobs.
Yeah, there's like exactly.
Oh, they love it. Why not 5?
Yeah, there's like
5 is in right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
glands in their head where they're like, I want to be calm now, so they gland calm and stuff. But I found out this week that the tech bro industry, there's a cult inside the tech bro industry, which I did not know about. I'm going to have to look it up for you in a moment. But there's a cult inside the tech bro industry who are very inspired by that.
Oh.
So much so that like the big push for AI is because like it's a bit of like a fraternity in the tech
Yeah,
bro industry
yeah.
where they would all like get together and they'd be like, oh, have you read the culture books? Yeah, I have as well. It's like, obviously AI will be in charge in the future. And they're like, yeah. So there's this whole movement of like trying to generate the AI so that life can be better. But like they're also pieces of shit, so they like really fuck it up. There's also a counter movement of people who believe it so much that they're like vegetarians, like aggressive vegetarians, like they don't do anything like horrible or mean, so that when the AI take over, they're like, hey, don't kill us because we're good people.
I'm kind of like that. I say,
Right.
you gotta thank the.
Did you hear that? You're right.
It's okay, keep going.
Did you hear that by saying please and thank you to AI actually costs
Good.
and uses loads of energy up?
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
millions-
it uses
millions of
energy.
pounds.
What? Because it has to think about how to be polite.
Because everyone's doing it because they don't want to get killed by the robots when they
fuck.
take
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
We're gonna kill the planet first. Anyway, I found out what the
Yeah.
theory was called.
What is it?
It's called the dark forest theory.
The dark
And there's a few
forest.
different. I'll send you these. There's like loads of like the Femry theory, but the one I was referring to is the dark forest theory, which is really it's grim. Which is like, so the reason we've not found life out there is because everyone's being real fucking quiet, because they know that if they go, hey, we're over here, then if it's not good if they get found.
Then like an evil empire will come
Yeah,
for them.
like in every single culture on Earth, what's
so-
happened when a culture that wants to be found, that's like less technologically advanced, has
so
gone.
when we sent that box into space with all the music and
Yeah.
pictures, and like
So
we're right
the
here.
dark forest theory is called the dark forest theory because it's like they're out there, they're just being real fucking quiet
Yeah.
because they know that if they're discovered, it won't go well for them.
Yeah.
But we're on Earth, like, we're over here. Where are you? And everyone's like, shut up. So yeah, dark forest theory is an interesting
That's
one.
interesting.
It's a
I
good
also,
one.
just to wrap up my point, I found
yeah,
out that
sorry.
the cult are called the Zizians.
Wait, the
Or
cult.
like, this
Oh,
is
in
the,
your yeah.
this is the splinter group off the main group who are all like these tech bro AI like
Tech
futurists. And it's
bro.
all the people like, it's like Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, like all the worst people, Sam Altman, like, and they believe in this like AI future and like they're going to all be looked after. But the Zizians like broke off and like, we're going to be hyper vegetarians. We're going to like do all these things because like when the AI take over, we want to be, because AI, the idea is with AI is that when they get sentient, they're like, whoa, humans are awful and they kill everybody.
Yeah, like they're obviously terrible, stinky human beings.
Exactly. So like Terminator rules,
Yeah.
right? So they're like, no, we're going to be good examples. So they can turn around and be like, hey, no, humans can be good.
Like
But
these
the-
are the good ones.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
the Zizians ended up like stabbing a guy with a sword to death. Like, because they wouldn't pay their rent. So like they just ruined like they went on a run for like 4 years. And obviously it's sad that someone got stabbed, right?
Wait,
but,
is this
like,
in real life?
this is all real
I
stuff.
thought you meant in like your fucking.
No, this is all real stuff that's currently happening. Like there's in the tech
Oh
bro
my god,
sphere.
satire is
like,
dead.
Yeah, there's this whole like culture, like
I thought we were
fandom.
still talking about your little fucking.
No, it's the
Storybook.
books. No, the books have created a fandom in the tech bro universe, and like if you hang out at all the parties, they're like, they're like, oh, like AI is going to be the future. Like, if you're like just the regular guy, is like, hey, bro,
I'm polite to robots.
Yeah, but they all have these like.
Yeah, but they know I'm chill.
The robots.
Yeah, they know I'm chill. They know I'm a cool stir.
Okay, so did we finish dragons?
No, we didn't.
But I still think they're aliens.
I think dragons.
UFOs. Sorry.
Okay.
You think? Okay, Rob, what do you think about dragons?
I think
Because you're a man that's read a lot of fantasy.
That's true. I'm into romantasy now. That's my new thing.
No,
I'm
not
joking.
werewolf fucking. No, we'll get round to werewolf fucking in a bit.
Do you know about the romantasy thing? Can we tell him at least?
Shall I explain
yeah.
So, the women are feral. I'm going to start out with women are feral. So, the most popular genre of books nowadays is called Romantasy. And if you were on TikTok, you'd know
So romance fantasy.
Romance fantasy. Imagine what Twilight started.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Vampire fucking.
Yeah.
Now it's just monster fucking.
Real
Like-
raw dog in it.
So that's why I
Well,
hated
werewolf,
that.
yeah.
Hated that. Hated you said that out loud.
We're gonna bleep that one.
Yeah.
But it is essentially just like romance mixed with fantasy, and it'll be like, the king of the fairies wants me in his court, but I'm just a poorly peasant girl.
Oh no.
I haven't washed my hair in 15 years, and he wants me to wear a dress, and it makes me look so beautiful, but I don't want to wear it. I don't want it, but I'll wear it for him, but I won't. I'll put up a
But
fight.
most importantly, Peach, is it's like it's not necessarily like the people who watch this show, like in the geek general nerd fandom. It's not that.
Yeah.
We're talking. It's just hit the normies, the mums.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Well, it's Twilight, right? Twilight hit the normies.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like 50
awoken
Shades
some.
of Grey in cosplay, right?
Yeah, exactly.
50 Shades of Grey, but the pantheon of Greek mythology.
Yeah, or just like a dude with like a giant head or something insane. I don't know what women find attractive. I think that's it.
Mohammed Nosferatu.
It's a giant nugget.
Humpty Dumpty.
I don't know if that one would fly.
It's a giant fucking noggin.
Dude with a giant head would go down well with them. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's some.
Do you know if
freaks
he's got a
out
big head, he's got big.
there. I'm punching you on camera
But
so people can see that.
Romantasy, just so you know, Peach, when in 2023, Romantasy, the industry was worth $454 million. But in 2020, sorry, that was in 2023. In 2024, it's gone up to $610 million.
A very popular genre. I
Yeah.
wouldn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Louise knows nothing about it, apparently.
Well, I'm doing some research on this. This is
Yeah,
great.
also, Peach, because actually, talking about Romantasy, and I'm super into this, Peach, start putting some love stories into your battle reports. Like,
Yeah,
can you
what the
imagine
heck?
just like, because why Sharp is cool.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sharp is cool. Bond is cool.
Yeah.
But they all also
Bond got a lot of
got
romance.
they got a lot of ladies as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's one of the things that 40K battle reports generally are missing in the
I want to
miniature
say
space.
something.
So I've got quite a few female models made. I've actually got a highway woman who looks pretty hot.
Okay.
So maybe she could be the next love interest for Richard Sharp.
Stand and deliver.
Stand and deliver.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, love.
I'll deliver.
Yeah.
I can fire 3
nuts.
shots a minute and anywhere.
Well, I'm just like
This
if
is
we
not a PG.
no, I'm
podcast
saying
anymore.
if we can agree that the ladies don't mind there being a battle, as we talked about on the other show,
Oh,
Yeah.
let's see-
as
let's
long
see
as there's a
some of
bit
it,
of
yeah.
love, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of I think it's fair to say there's a lot of men in the wargaming space, and so a lot of people have been like, how do we encourage there to be more women? And I'm just like,
Romantasy.
Romantic.
get some romantasy happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we could even make the first Romantasy war game.
We should do that.
Oh my God, Rob, no. No, but also it's such a lucrative idea. If-
Roll 2d6 on
We
a
could-
7, you kiss.
oh my God, I played the shit out of that. Shit! Fuck! Oh, you go! Oh no! Oh, I'm the target market and the problem. Oh. Right, Rob. What's our next? Dragons.
Oh yes.
What's your opinion?
I think winged mythological creatures is super interesting.
Oh my God.
I don't think I know enough about like the etymology is the wrong word, but like the roots of like where it all
Yeah,
comes from.
yeah.
It does make sense that like,
Honestly, demons. It's always like a lot of dragons aren't like come around because they are religious things.
Well, they're always
there's
traditionally
not-
scaled, winged, and breathe fire,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
people also in today's modern world believe that like, so you could show someone evidence of something, like, here's evidence of a thing, and they'll go, I don't believe it. So like, you've already got...
I keep seeing the news every day. It's fucking bullshit.
Exactly. So like, I think we live in a world where like definitely someone at some point was like, yeah, a dragon is real. Yeah. And they're like, maybe like 2 guys are like, bullshit, but like 3 guys are like, yeah, I reckon me too, maybe one day. And they just believe them.
Well, it was like
stuff.
I said, I think a lot of people don't understand that dragons, like I said, were part of religion. Like dragons were a Christian thing. Dragons were like, it was just, so of course they believed in dragons because they believed in religion. In Japan, dragons were kind of like, I think a little bit more like spiritual, elemental, kind of like guardian things. They still think in some places there's like a dragon in that cave next to a shrine. And like, you don't go in the cave because they are like, the dragon is still there. Yeah. And if it comes out, it's like basically the end of the world. Yeah. Right. So I think like, it's like people believing in God, believing in dragons for a really long time. It's just now that we know they're not flying around in the sky that it's a bit of a lesser thing. But yeah, anymore. But we do have jet fighters though, which are, as we know, medieval dragons.
They are medieval dragons.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's next, Rob?
Next up, because we're going to a festival soon. So next up, I think one that's interesting to both of you is fairies. Fairies.
Me and Rob are going to a fairy festival. Peter, would you like to come?
Where?
It's in August. I think it's called... We are deleting that. That is a terrible thing for you to say. Anyway, we're going to a fairy festival. It's in August, I think, like 3rd. It's around my birthday time. Yeah. But yeah, it looks really cute. Me and Tina are going to go and dress as fairies.
Amazing.
Brian Froud might be there. Illustrator, did like Dark Crystal, basically the best goblin illustrator in the world ever, and his wife Wendy, and maybe the other Frouds.
So apparently fairies originally were Persian mythology. Interesting. But as I understand it, they became much more popularized in the kind of...
Would you like me to infodump about the Cottingley fairy incident?
Yeah, absolutely. The Cottingley. But as I understand it, hold on, just fairies became like quite popular in the kind of like 1800s, 1900s kind of like like authorship, like books and stuff that occurred.
So the biggest fairy hoax in the world was in Cottingley.
Is that the little girl?
Yeah, the most classic. So what happened was there was this little girl and she lived in the countryside, and essentially she just started saying that there were fairies down there. So and she had photographic evidence, which at the time was really fucking good. Yeah. And like people could not work out what was going on because like they would be sent to experts and they were like, we don't know how this is working, because they were literally photographs of this girl with little fairies and they weren't like drawn on or anything.
What time period was this?
I think it was like Victorian time. So
black and white times.
Black and white, rudimentary. Pictures were a little bit blurrier, but it didn't look fake. Yeah. Okay. And throughout all of the like her adulthood, she insisted that these pictures were real. And they were just like, I think it's the most iconic kind of like fairy sighting things. You'll know I've written a song about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a song called Cottingley, and it's about the Cottingley fairies.
Okay, lovely.
Let me show you. But essentially, sadly, I think right before she died, she admitted it was a hoax. Okay. She made them out of paper.
Okay.
And then she would just like place them on place, and that's why they look so realistic.
Yeah, they look like they're floating
but
around.
Yeah,
I wonder how many people though over that period of time heard about it and then never heard like the rebuttal.
Oh, huge!
Yeah.
Like,
do you know what I mean? Never heard the second part where it's not real.
Barely anyone knows she even did a confession like before she died. Right?
Interesting. Peach, what are your thoughts on like fairies?
Yeah,
and
look,
I guess
there you
fae
go.
folk?
The most iconic like fairy photos ever. Right?
That's wild.
And like they look really good.
So I find it really interesting because all mythology is based on something, right?
Yeah.
To some degree. And fae folk, goblins were like very Viking-esque as well, because Tolkien based a lot of stuff on Viking lore and Dark Age lore, pagan sort of mythologies and whatever. So leprechauns, they're kind of like meant to be fairies too. So where does that come from? You know, at some point, someone's either seen something,
the feelie,
or I want to believe everything. I'm like Mulder. I want to believe.
So interestingly, leprechauns and little people are another one similar to dragons, where a lot of different cultures have similar things. Yeah. So little people, obviously massive in like Sweden. They have
That's hilarious. Little people massive.
Little people are huge in Sweden, where they're all very
Huge.
tall. But you know what I mean? Like that's the thing that they all have. In America, the Americas, they have pugwudgies, which are like little people. Little people are another one similar to dragons, where there's a huge shared mythology across everything, and they're always mischief makers.
So I'm gonna ruin the moment now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna ruin
You've
the
already
moment.
done it like a million times.
I
Pete.
know. But
Remember Big Dick?
Fairies.
Remember aliens?
So I remember.
Did you see a little person?
Oh no, I've not seen a little person, but I remember
I've seen a
being
little
a kid.
person.
There was lots of
That's my mate Mark.
Loch Ness monster, dragons, unicorns,
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
You've got fairies.
Yeah.
You've got borrowers. You've got all these
Oh
kind
yeah,
of things, right?
borrowers.
And then the 1988 reset happened, didn't it?
Oh my god, it ruined everything.
What's that?
You know what happened? The 1988 was it 88?
It was 88. I forget what it was called now. It's
The reset.
the
This
anomaly.
isn't even,
The
like,
anomaly.
The anomaly
big
happened.
sort of conspiracy where
Peachy, for those who haven't listened to our previous podcast,
So,
can you please explain the
in a
1988
in a
anomaly?
previous podcast,
Yeah.
I discovered recently that there was something known as the anomaly.
The
In
anomaly.
1988, something happened that was so devastating, the world ended.
Okay.
But because the universe is the universe, it reset itself. So it was so cataclysmic, it destroyed the universe, not just the world. Destroyed the universe and it reset itself. But everything's a bit different, like the Mandela effect.
Yeah, everything feels a
And
bit off,
So
right?
people will go, oh
No.
yes, Fruit of the
Yeah.
Loom used to have a corpicone on it. It's like, no, it doesn't. It does not.
But it fucking did.
But Pikachu has like black on his tail.
Oh no,
he
no,
doesn't.
get this, Peachy. The Monopoly guy, he's not got a monocle.
I always thought he had a monocle.
Didn't you think he had a monocle? It's
I'm
got new-
taking you two to a care home.
Rich
What I'm
Uncle
saying is-
Pennybags doesn't have a monocle.
What
Why
I'm
are
saying
you reacting to this?
Is in after 1988, tech had a massive boost, right?
Right.
We started getting smartphones like late 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
Smartphones, dumb
Smartphones.
brains.
People
Realize,
the internet happens,
realize.
The internet happens, you know, that weird cloud in the sky that no one seems to be able to touch, but all the information's there.
Wait,
Yeah.
what
So all
cloud?
this stuff happens and we can't get video evidence now. There's more camera phones in the world to be able to spot these things, but we now can't see it. It's reset.
So, okay, so this is a theory that
It's
currently
the
exists
remix
out
to
there.
Ignition. Hot
Yeah,
and fresh
yeah.
out the
Would you
kitchen.
want me to find it again and read it word for word?
No, please, no.
Okay.
Good, because
Dear
we'll
God,
be
no.
taken down by the
This
It might
is-
say
this is-
something about Bigfoot's dick.
I
don't
didn't.
know.
I was thinking about talking about mythological creatures, not whatever.
Well,
But my
you
point
fucked it.
going back is like all this stuff where there was illustrations, lots of stories circulating about all kinds of mythology, ghost stories. Now that people have more access to visual media, they don't exist. And it could just be they never did.
What?
Well, I think
Or it could be the anomaly.
it could be the anomaly. I think it's not the anomaly. And also, I feel like I need to protect you from a cult. So tell me where, Liz, if you're listening, find out where he found this out and block that on the internet. Okay? I just want to protect you from this. Fairies, which is where we were. Fairies, I think, are interesting because fairies, unlike dragons, because we didn't really mention this in miniatures and stuff, but dragons massively permeated the psyche of like, because I guess what's interesting about like shared mythology, it's also shared storytelling,
Yeah.
right? And would have been for centuries.
Yeah.
But like fairies never really permeated the same way a dragon did, which I think is interesting.
Interesting. Okay, so when you were, I think the wee girly pops in the chat will understand this. When we were young, there were two books.
Oh,
2 books.
Yeah.
One of them was dragons,
yeah.
and the other one was fairies.
That's true.
And everyone knows in their brain what these books looked like. The dragon one had a big gem at the front, and the fairy one, I don't know because I didn't have it.
All right.
But like for little girls, like dragons and fairies were a huge deal. I had a huge book on fairies, and it was like my favorite book ever. May have just been different for boys. Maybe boys didn't get the fairies, right?
Okay.
But girls certainly got the fairies. Like I had several books which were just about and in fact I could tell you like the illustrator if I looked it up. Like there were iconic like fairy books for girls.
Okay.
That if you were a girl, you had it. Same with dragons.
I guess I'm just thinking about like modern pop culture. So there's like a TV show called Carnival Row,
Yeah.
which is actually amazing.
Yeah.
That's got like fairies and
Yeah,
werewolves
yeah.
and stuff in.
Mhm.
So that's really fun. But like dragons were lame for a long time.
When were dragons ever lame?
And then we got the most incredible movie ever, Reign of Fire.
Reign of Fire, classic movie, best movie about dragons.
Best
Oh,
movie ever.
found it.
but
Maybe best movie ever,
Yeah,
Peach.
no, you're not wrong.
Best
actually.
movie
You're not
ever.
wrong. Yeah.
So yeah, we got the
There is
dragons.
Dragonology. Every like girl I knew had this book. I bought it for my friend.
Dragonology.
Dragonology.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
like iconic book.
How
If
do you feel, Louise, about like the impact of like dragons into like pop culture?
Love it. Why? I think it's great. I love like old fantasy. I don't think it should ever leave like storytelling and stuff. I think it's really important.
How do you mean? Oh, it shouldn't leave like the concept of
No,
storytelling.
absolutely not. I think having things like dragons and fairies as concepts is like the tooth fairy, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Every kid grows up with a tooth fairy.
That's true.
As a real thing.
Is Santa a fairy?
Santa's a fae folk. He is one of the fae.
That's
so,
interesting.
but unlike dragons, who we teach kids aren't real, we teach them that the tooth fairy absolutely is real.
And Santa's real.
And Santa's real.
And the Easter Bunny.
And the Easter Bunny.
Easter Bunny's becoming more popular.
But he's weird because he lays eggs.
Yeah, no, he I don't know
He
what
delivers eggs.
I don't know what the
He
deal with it.
delivers
But
eggs.
he
A sign of
certainly
Has he got
fertility.
like a chicken farm?
he's got chicken ass.
Maybe
He's
or duck ass.
He's got a duck ass.
dump truck ass.
Duck truck ass.
Duck truck ass.
Either way, so unlike dragons, which we teach kids are definitely not real, we actually do teach them that fae folk are real,
Okay, interesting.
right? Like the tooth fairy, like Santa watches you. It's very much old mythology where we teach kids that, like Krampus, right? You're not good, Krampus watches you and he'll take you away in the night. If you're not good, the tooth fairy doesn't deliver your
Dragons are also interesting as well because, like in modern culture at least, like we had dragons sat on a pile of gold. They're evil. We had one of the biggest Smaug and that kind of like miniatures.
It's a great construct for like Hobbit is just such a great book. It teaches so many good, valuable lessons.
That's what I'm trying to say, though. It
The
taught
importance
loads of
of
lessons
breakfast.
that everyone missed.
Yeah.
Like, they really did miss it, right?
I'm gonna get Charlie Dragonology.
Dragonology
It's
was great. I need
such
it
a
for
good
me.
book. Yeah, it's
So,
it's so iconic.
Did dragons become baddies because of Tolkien, or were they always like baddies?
They were
or
always
just
yeah,
beasts?
absolutely. If you go back to like
I guess
George and the Dragon,
George and the Dragon,
like
yeah.
like I said, they were very much they were basically devil spawn that got popular.
But if you take the Welsh heritage of Arthur, that talks about two dragons fighting against each other. One represented Wales, one represented not the Saxons, or was it the Saxons? It might have been the Saxons.
There's a lot of things like especially in Britain, as far as I know, which is mythological creatures fighting to represent nations fighting.
Yeah.
Take the lion and the unicorn. We're fighting for the crown.
Oh,
which
so
is,
they were hugging.
No, they were not. The lion and the unicorn were fighting for the crown. The lion chased the unicorn all around the town, which is a Scottish little thingy about fighting between, I think, just like England and Scotland.
Yeah, that makes
with
sense.
the
Is
unicorn being
Scottish?
the unicorn is Scotland's national animal.
Is it?
Yeah, they have a cryptid as I think it's one of the few countries that actually have a cryptid as a national
Wales
animal.
right next to them.
Exactly.
Is it
It's,
a cryptid,
it's almost
though?
like a funny joke. Are we going to get into no? Because I don't think fairies.
I mean,
are-
Kim Jong Un's found a unicorn in the cave, hasn't he? So,
Has
you know.
he?
Has he?
Oh, good for
He's the
Kim
first-
Jong-un?
Yeah, he's the first.
I'll be
man to-
honest, Peach. I haven't been keeping up. How's he doing?
Kim Jong Unicorn.
Yeah, it's he also played golf and did all 19 holes or 18 holes in one shot.
Fuck, that's
I
actually
know.
really. He's
That's pretty
honestly, he
impressive.
needed a bit of a good year
Yeah.
He's had a
after
good year.
being the fucking worst.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that things are going well for him.
Unicorns and a hole in one.
So Kim Jong-un
Found a unicorn in the cave.
found a unicorn in a unicorn
Do not,
cave.
Apparently
do not
so,
look at the
apparently so.
unicorn now.
But only he found it.
Only he found
so it's
it.
a bit of a Brigham
It's like
Young
it's-
situation.
Yeah, plus it's a bit of a Brigham Young golden plates, like, but only I can see the unicorn. But yeah, is it
I mean, another good example.
Fairies.
Dragons. I just want to say about dragons
Yes.
again. I think it's interesting that like we had such a modern cultural moment in the Hobbit movies.
Yeah.
The dragon greed.
Game of Thrones brought it back. I'm so
But
happy
Game of Thrones
that Game of
didn't
Thrones.
never really use dragons as like a metaphor. I don't
Yeah.
think they were very animal tool based.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah,
what
they're
I'm trying to say,
steed.
Louise?
A steed.
Yeah, they were a steed. They
Yeah, but it's
just
still
did fighting.
fantasy.
Yeah,
But I
what
get
mean,
what you mean. They weren't like. No, but they were a simpler power still.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say
Yeah,
is with Smaug, literally the pot of gold, everything, we're like, dragons are bad. And then everyone's like, I don't understand the message. Like they just they somehow lost the message.
That's the fairy version of the
Found
book
it.
called Fairyopolis.
Good.
So like I said,
and
when you were a little girl,
Dragonology.
you had the dragon book or the fairy book.
Why not
Yeah.
both?
I had both.
Oh, good.
There's some other really good
explains a
fairy
lot.
books. I've got some Brian Froud, like fairy and
Who
goblin
is Brian
books.
Froud?
Brian Froud is
Labyrinth
one of my favorite illustrators
dude.
in the world ever. He basically Brian Froud draws the gribbliest little goblins and fairies in the world. And
Dark Crystal, not Labyrinth.
oh yeah, he did. He's worked on stuff like Dark Crystal and Labyrinth. So that kind of look, where everything's got like very big eyes and quite like sallow cheeks, but they're gribbly, but also kind of cute, and they have like fluffy hair and stuff. Very Brian Froud. And yeah, he did a bunch of books on fairies and goblins. The goblin one I have is one of the best ones because it's written almost like the goblins have taken over the book. So there's a letter you get at the beginning, which you can't open until you finish the book. And it's all very good fun. But yeah, I like fairy books in general. I used to read a lot of fairy books. What were they called? Not The Secret of Nim. It was another one.
Secret of Nim. I remember
no,
that,
Secret of Nim's good. It's not fairies.
Yeah.
No. Oh, I can't remember what it was called. But yeah, I used to be very much into fairies when I was little.
See, I think fairies are based off.
Gonna have a look.
Of glowworms.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like fireflies,
tiny
glowworms.
fighter jets.
Yeah,
Tiny fighter jets.
Because it looks. I imagine it looks magical, right? Like
at nighttime, absolutely.
I can imagine it looks, and you don't really have. And they didn't really have the language to explain why the luminescence would occur.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
I mean,
that.
An example I wanted to mention earlier, and I don't know if I was going to wrap up with this, but certainly today with AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
In today's culture, AI, if there's a generation which is unfortunately my mum and dad's, or not my mum and dad's, they're all right, but that generation of people are seeing AI and thinking it's real.
Honestly, even I am starting to struggle.
Well, there was one. I remember at a Christmas dinner, and someone that Liz knows was showing us a video, and there's a bit like, because I've seen editing, I understand
the
editing.
videos are quite egregious.
There's like a
sometimes.
Britain's Got Talent kind of style thing, and there's this old man stood still, and he slowly just turns into a skeleton.
Yeah,
and there's like a reaction from the audience, and you can see like Liz's mum and dad like, oh, that's really interesting. Like it's not real.
Oh,
and it's like to them it's magic. So you can see like in the past, like when people like seeing glowworms.
Yeah, I'd believe a guy if he came up to me. Like I would straight up be a druid.
Yeah.
I would be believing in all that stuff.
Oh really?
Like, absolutely. I would be the one spreading the rumors.
When technology gets so much, it becomes magic.
Yeah, right? That's definitely. I could definitely see that in the future, where like it tricks a bunch of different people.
Oh yeah, like I said, AI. Like I do these tests on TikTok now, which is like, can you spot which one's AI? And it's quite good.
Yeah.
But sometimes,
most times you can. But
sometimes it's like it's
in 5 years you won't be able to.
Yeah, I fully agree, and I hate that because it's kind of like it's funny to laugh at boomers that, like you said, don't understand AI, but it is getting pretty fucking.
Well, when it becomes the point where people can like almost mimic your voice and your face and then make you say stuff you've never said.
It's called the Spiderwick Chronicles.
Oh yeah, Spiderwick. I watched that movie.
It was like a mid movie, but they were fantastic books about like fairies and fairy stones. That if you look through the fairy stone, you could see the fairies, and that was
fun.
Quite. Yeah,
it's interesting that we still. Like, I'm sure it's probably still the case. Peach, obviously, you're a dad at the moment. Yeah. Do you engage?
I think you'll always be a dad, hopefully forever.
What I mean is do you engage in like mythological storytelling?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. I think
because you were telling me a really sweet story about what you did in Minecraft.
That's just lying.
No, that's mythology. That's mythology.
Well, I said it was a Minecraft fairy, and then it's mythology.
Yeah. Can you tell us what it was?
So, it's cute as fuck.
You might watch this, so I might not want to.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, right now there is a Minecraft fairy.
He's going to watch through Biggest Stickers.
Oh my God, you're right. Charlie, if you've made it this far, we're sorry.
We're sorry. Don't worry, Charlie.
If you have made it this far, your dad's told me that something really...
So keep going, Louise. Keep going.
I can't physically do it. Okay. Your dad has told me that something really interesting is happening in your Minecraft server where like you'll go to bed and wake up, but then you'll just find something.
Random buildings
that you've never, but the weird thing is like when you look it up, no one's ever seen those buildings before.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So
that's weird. I wonder what's
Minecraft.
happening inside the Minecraft server.
I think
fairies.
I think it's a Minecraft fairy.
Yeah, Minecraft fairy.
Yeah. So like when you go to bed, what I've heard is that there are actually things that, you know how you'll like go to bed and you'll wake up and your farm will still be kind of looking okay. And the reason it's not like overgrown or died is because the Minecraft fairies come in.
Yeah.
And they like,
Actually, can I bring something up?
Absolutely not.
I've just realized, like, what is the story of like the cobbler? The guy that makes shoes, and then like he goes to sleep at night, and someone makes.
It's the I can't remember what the story is called, but yeah, the shoemaker.
But have you heard it? Like the shoemaker.
Yeah.
Right. We've all heard that.
It's similar to a Rumpelstiltskin. So what happens a lot of the times is you get into agreements with fairies.
Yeah, but like, I just wanted to bring up. I was like, now I'm just realizing how incredibly specific that that story. Like, it really does feel like someone was doing some sort of taking the piss in a cobbler's somewhere in the world. I don't know what sort of situation he had to come up where he's like, no, actually, fairies did it overnight.
Someone really wanted a job. It was like, the only time I could do it is I could break in at night, make a few shoes, and he might give me a job.
Yeah, I don't know what incredibly specific circumstances led to that lie, right? That I now am realizing is obviously someone doing a scam.
Okay, so fairies, what do you think?
I was going to say, back to the point of you asking about do I encourage that with Charlie? Absolutely, I do.
Okay.
Because I think it's good to have that creativity and that. Some people will say, like, we all tell lies to our kids about a Mr. Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't think the lies. I think it's nice to
Dr.
give
Christmas.
a sense of, like,
whimsy and magic.
Whimsy and magic, but also, almost, it's maybe it's lazy parenting, I don't know, but like, if you're good, you get rewarded.
It's a mythology about kids being good.
Yeah.
They used to be way worse. It would be like they're going to take you away in a sack.
Yeah, and you're going to get murdered by the weird spider bear.
Exactly,
like, okay, I'm cool with that.
It's a bit better than that.
Yeah,
right?
But I think, like, kids should be allowed to be kids for as long as they possibly can.
I agree.
And enjoy having cool imaginations. I mean, maybe I'm weird, maybe I'm a bit screwed up, but I had a great imagination, a great childhood, and I would never change it.
No.
Because it made me the person I am today, which is a little bit insane.
I still play pretend, right?
Yeah.
I like having all the whimsy and the fun. And it's fun. It's fun to think that there's something else out there, which I think is where a lot of all this stuff comes from.
I think it's also like to bring it back to the hobby. It's also why I think a lot of people like to realize those ideas in their head in miniature form or in like hobby format.
Like I said, when I did my cloth goblins, they all got little names and little stories. And
they're in a little universe.
And I made them a little universe because I love them. So
Feature. I mean, I know it's just like smashing a couple of animals together, but it's just good fun.
Like a chimera.
And you can see you can see how like chimeras came into being and stuff like that. Because they're another mythical beast that was
absolutely.
Well, listen, another thing that is true is this has to end, unfortunately.
I was going to talk about cell keys and unicorns.
Well, we can talk about
cell
that.
Keys.
We could talk about those on different shows. And you can let us know in the comments if this is something you've enjoyed. Have you two enjoyed doing this?
Oh my God, it's been my favorite one.
I can't wait for us to discuss the Industrial Revolution. That's going to be a hot topic for Peach. Louise is going to really struggle.
What's going to be, because we all have to pick one, because I feel like this is very me and Peachy coded. So what's your special interest going to be?
Well, no, because we're going to try a bunch of different things.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know, but what's the kind of topic that you would like to discuss like this?
Ooh, quiet.
Oh, wow.
It's peaceful quiet.
Maybe we get some suggestions
quiet?
of topics to cover.
Yeah. Let us know what things. It's not just like just mythological stuff. It's meant to be
it could just be mythological stuff, though, if you want it.
It could just be that. Like, we've left a lot on the table.
I didn't even get to talk about unicorns. We only got to talk about
we can do
Kim
that in the
Jong-il.
Patreon episode we're about to record.
Oh, yay!
Okay, so we're going to go do that now. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Thanks very much.
It was
See you
great.
soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So like unicorn.